Hi everyone, Matt, CEO of Inception Labs, and today I'm going to talk about carbohydrates. They're often the first thing people target when they're trying to get on a weight loss or a fat loss journey. And it's important to realize with carbohydrates that they're not bad. They aren't what make us fat. Yes, they contribute to it, but in of themselves, carbohydrates are actually a really important tool in our diet. And if you completely eradicate them from your diet or try to minimize them completely, it is going to affect your quality of life, your health, and ultimately achieving your goals. Not all carbohydrates can be classified as good or bad. And I don't even like to see foods in general as good or bad. Clearly, there are things that are just plain bad for you. But generally, when we're talking about macro or micronutrient groups, you shouldn't be talking about them as good or bad. Even sugars, which are considered in the sort of bad category, can actually have a purpose. Using them around your post workout meals to actually help get nutrients into the muscles faster can help with lean muscle growth. So, all carbohydrates have a place in their raw form, but you can't have them in excess. So, when you look at the good and bad of carbohydrates, first off, carbohydrates are our primary energy source. They're the fuel that powers our brain, they're the fuel that powers our body. Our bodies are designed to work on carbohydrates. We should not be cutting out the core macronutrient that we're designed to operate on. Carbohydrates are extremely high in fiber and key vitamins and minerals. So, individuals who are in a fiber or in a carbohydrate deficient diet tend to not get sufficient dietary fiber as well. You can get it from fruits and vegetables, but rarely people won't actually eat enough of those to get sufficient dietary fiber. Complex carbohydrates, so we're talking about oats, grains, rices, kumara, potato, those types of carbohydrates, they actually help to regulate our blood sugar. So we don't want to be living on simple carbohydrates, but removing carbohydrates altogether actually seriously disrupts our body's ability to regulate that blood sugar. Um, Carbohydrates are also key for serotonin production. So serotonin is essentially a happy hormone. It's what makes us feel good. So when we cut carbohydrates out of our diet, we actually have a significantly lower level of serotonin production. So we simply don't feel good. Carbohydrates actually make us feel good when we eat them. That's why they are slightly addictive and why they can lead to weight gain in excess. But it's important to have some in your diet in a controlled fashion, focusing on complex carbohydrates to make sure that you actually still are producing good levels of serotonin and you feel good. But there are some bads to carbohydrates as well. Refined and simple carbohydrates, so your sugars, can lead to blood sugar spikes. They're going to lead to insulin issues. People can actually eat enough to become pre-diabetic if they have too much sugar in their diets. So you can certainly overconsume carbohydrates, even complex carbohydrates. If you eat too much of them, it is going to lead to weight gain. But like anything, they're a tool that you need in your diet to provide energy. You just need to have balance and have them at the right level. Typically, for most people, from your total calories in the day, about 40% of them should be coming from carbohydrates. Another thing with carbohydrates is they can often be lacking in nutrients. So when you compare them to, say, fats as an energy source, because our two primary energy sources are carbohydrates and fats, fats can be quite dense in nutrients. Carbohydrates can often be very lacking in nutrients, especially the processed or refined carbohydrates. So it's really important to make sure the majority of your carbohydrates are coming from those complex, good quality sources: oats, kumara, rice, and so on. So, in summary, with carbohydrates, it's important not to see them as bad. It's important not to try to eliminate them completely when you're getting on a fat loss journey. I've seen it time and time again where people cut carbs blanket thinking they're all bad. It's about balance. Kumara is better than bread. oats are better than wheat bix. So there are always going to be better types of carbohydrate. You just have to make better choices with the carbohydrates, but see that they need to be an essential part of your diet. Particularly if you're looking at lean muscle growth and fat loss, you've got to make sure carbohydrates are in part of your plan. I hope you found this video useful.